Welcome to Exist Better Conscious Conversations. Today I have Didi Kamalika on the podcast. Didi is a nun with the Ananda Marga tradition. I met Didi on a trip to Iceland. There was a meditation group going and I decided to join it last minute. And it was really beautiful. I had an amazing experience and I really wanted to speak to Didi myself about the way we did the meditation because there were so many layers to it. And to be honest with you, as somebody that meditates a lot, I found it quite tricky. So I wanted to understand how and why she was doing it this way. And I wanted to understand her journey from Brazil and her work as a nun. And really, I guess I was a bit nosy. I wanted to know about her life and if she had any words of wisdom, not just for me, but for everybody. So she does. And this is a beautiful, enlightening experience. I hope you enjoy. Welcome, Didi, to the podcast. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm so happy to be with you again after our first and only just one meeting.
I know, in Iceland.
Yeah.
That was such a beautiful meditation when I attended it. Really different to what I had done before. So I really wanted to then have a conversation exploring more about how you experience meditation and what works and the different layers you were combining. I was excited to explore it more. But before we dive into all of that, I would love to hear about your journey to becoming a nun with the Ananda Marga tradition and how this came about.
Yeah, okay, let's talk a little bit about it because it's a long journey.
Okay,
So
great.
just, so just first to start about Ananda Marga, no? What is Ananda Marga? Ananda Marga is an institution that was created in India in 1955 by P.R. Sarkar or Prabharanjan Sarkar. This is his civil name, let's say, and the spiritual name of the founder of Ananda Marga is Shri Shri Anandamurti. So he was an Indian guy, and he was and he built Ananda Marga in let's say has a continuity of tantra techniques, tantra tradition. And tantra is a very ancient tradition of yoga and deep spirituality, who starts with ways, siddhis, we call in Sanskrit siddhis from India, and who first organized and systemized tantra was Shiva. Shiva has a historic man that lived in this planet around 7,000 years ago. So Ananda Marga is what we can say a modern tantric practice. It's a modern institution that is sharing about tantric practice. But tantra is not just about self-development, and is also about transforming society. All great tantrics in our planet, they came and they build their missions as spiritual gurus, spiritual masters, but also they build their missions as revolutionary, social revolutionary people. No, they transform a lot the environment, the society in that age when they was living. And Shri Shri Anandamurti was the same. He built, so he gave to us this tantric system of developing spirituality in a way that us as modern people can practice in our so runny lives, no? And also he gave us some tools, some theories about the transforming society in a political and economical way. And of course, because these aspects, he was in jail, the government tried to kill him. So it was a sad but also inspiring history that we have from him. And Ananda Marga now, since many, many decades, is in a lot of countries. No, for example, here in Iceland, we have Ananda Marga since 1975, something like this. So many, many decades. No, I'm from Brazil, and there Ananda Marga is there also from more or less 1970 something. So Ananda Marga is in around the world trying to help people who is in need in material aspects, but also, of course, to help people in these spiritual, psychic questions, issues that we are always involved.
Mm.
So I was law teacher in university. I was lawyer and teacher in university,
Wow.
and yeah, before to be a lawyer, when I was young, I was always thinking to be a missionary. My deep desire it was to be a missionary, to be helping people around the world, But I was never thinking about spirituality because I think I had some bad experiences with religion, with some dogmas, religious dogmas. So I was just thinking to be a social missionary. But when I grow a little bit, I went to university. These desires became a little bit, in some box inside
Yeah.
myself. But in some moment, this came again. And when I was as a lawyer and teacher in university, I start to feel, oh, something is missing in my life. Something, I don't know, I feel that I was living a very good life according the social um, rules. I had everything in my life in that moment. It was okay, but I was feeling inside that some important thing was missing. So in some moment, I got a license from my job, and I started to study more yoga because 1 year before I started to practice yoga, and 2 years before I started to search what was missing in spiritual experience with ayahuasca diamond just came to my mind. Here is not your place. Go to yoga. And that experience was very nice because I could see a little bit clear, with that experience, what
Mm.
it was my path. And I went to yoga, and I felt, okay, this is really my home. So, okay, I start practice yoga, but when I got my license, I start to study more yoga. I went to do a course to become a yoga teacher, and I never more want to return to be a lawyer, to be a, a, a teacher in university. And I just start to walk in this path, to teach yoga. And in some moment, I also felt, oh my, but just to teach yoga is still little, is still missing something. So I accept the idea to try, at least to try to be a nun of yoga in this path that I felt so um, serious, because I did my course in Ananda Marga, and I felt, for me it was so amazing because in Ananda Marga I could find exactly that my old desire to be a missionary, because in Ananda Marga we have these social aspects also. But in that time, I also I was aware that the real change that we can do in the society should first come from inside. So it was a mix of situations that
Mhm.
brought me to this path. When I was in my master of law, I had also a big crisis because I realized, my God, what I want to do in this society depend less than the external change than the internal change. So I became, what I'm doing here. I'm studying more and more law, and law cannot really transform the society. So I had a lot of situations, and many situations when I I felt, oh, this is not the right place. This is not the right path. So I was trying to find something. And when I found this and I start to go deep and deep, wow, everything become quiet inside me.
Mm.
You know, everything become so calm inside me because I think I realized, no, now I don't need to search more nothing. I found what I need. Now I just need to practice. I just need to go a little bit more and more ahead to, you know, to study and to practice it. So it was
Wow.
short way, it was like this. Many situations that brought me to these choose that this is lifestyle that I'm living now.
Wow. That's amazing. So when you got to that point, how long ago was that?
I got the license from my job. It was 2016.
Wow.
So I got initiated in Ananda Marga in this same year. Yes, in the same year. Um, but I started to practice regularly. It was in 2019 when I started to work with some nuns because me and my ex-boyfriend in that time we start to organize yoga courses in our city and invited, of course, the Didis, no, the nuns of Nanda Marga and Dadas, the monks of Nanda Marga to come into our home to give classes. And while I was in contact with these nuns, especially one in especially, she pull me to meditation. She always was inviting, let's meditate now, let's meditate now, let's meditate again. I remember that the first moments I hate her. I hate her because it was so much, oh my God, so much meditation. But it was really important for me.
Yeah.
In that moment also that my relationship with that boy finished. I was suffering. I think all my traumas, all my inside pain feelings about relations, all this pain that came from my past relations, maybe also from my past lives. I don't know. It was so in my
Mm.
skin. It was so, and it was so hard to me. And I realized, okay, I need to really meditate because I know that this suffering is not just about this relation. It's just my mind telling me many things that is not true. So in that moment, I asked it with a deep desire. I asked to this Shri Shirananda Murti. I say to him, no, he is not more alive. But I say, if you really exist, if you are really my guru, if you are really someone that is guiding us, has a master of Tantra Yoga, please, you need to help me. You need to help me to control my mind. You need to help me to meditate. And in 2 weeks, that nun who was pulling me to meditate came to live with me in my home. So
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
in with when I started practice, okay, everything started to change completely in my external life and of course my internal life, especially, you know.
Yeah.
So it was fast because in 2019 I started to meditate deep and I went to do a training in 2024. So these years, few years was incredible, incredible. I also did a training, 40 days training to be has a volunteer to Ananda Marga working with a nun, and I went to work in Peru during 1 year with another nun. So it was 5 really strong years that transformed completely my life and myself. It was nice.
Wow. So meditation was really transformative.
Yeah,
Mm.
completely, completely.
And
It's
had you ever
completely.
meditated before then?
No, no. And for me, meditation always was a very hard practice because I was a very rational girl. Imagine I was not so fit with spirituality before it. My mind, I'm very workaholic, so my mind is always thinking what to do now, what to do after what. So it's really difficult to me to have a very good moment, to stay calm, to concentrate my mind. This is really hard. Still now is hard for me because I'm really always trying to find solution for the problems and the words. And but still in this situation with this mind that looks like it's not a very properly mind to practice spirituality, I could get a big transformation. I have a big transformation. So, and also our master say he has a quote, a very short quote. I will not remember exactly the words, but he say maybe you can think that your meditation is not working. Maybe you are thinking that it's not transforming you, but just keep doing what you can. When you really need, you will feel how this can help you. When
Mm.
you really need, you will have, let's say, an amount of tools to utilize. And
Yeah.
exactly, I can feel exactly this. Maybe in my regularly meditation, sometimes I feel something nice, sometimes nothing, sometimes a very very good and great experience, but almost all times, okay, I'm not feeling too much. I'm feeling nothing maybe. But when I really need, I can feel that all the power that I need, I have. I have in my hands, I have inside me, I have in my mind. And of course, when I met people who is living a normal life,
Mm.
people who is living as I was living before, let's say without any practice, I can realize, oh, I was exactly like this. Wow, how
Mm.
the life can be hard. And why
Yeah.
we to live in this way? We don't need to live in this way. We can live in a very easily way. But I cannot realize so easily how different I am now. I'm just can realize when I met someone and I can remember, oh, I was like this. My God, my mind was so crazy. I was always suffering. I was always asking. I was always in doubt, always with carrying a big heavy in my back, no, with all these thoughts. And also, of course, when I need, as I was saying, when I need, I can realize, oh, I have the power. I can get the solutions very easily. Always in my meditation, I receiving also solutions for the questions that I need. So yeah, the meditation is a really amazing, amazing practice,
Yeah.
and everyone is fit for that. Everyone is fit for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I have a lot of people that come to my hypnotherapy sessions that say, "Oh, I can't meditate. You know, I've never been able to meditate. I'll never be able to meditate." But I think it's really comforting to hear that you struggled at the beginning and you hadn't been somebody that meditated and you do have an active mind, that
Mhm.
you have been able to gain so much from this and has been transformational. I think that's wonderful for people to hear, that they can do it and it can make such a change even if you do overthink.
Yeah. Yeah, I always say to everyone who ask me exactly about this, no, I for me it's really hard, for me it's really hard, because few can say that I love meditations very easily. No, this
Yeah.
group is a minor group. But I always say is you just need to have patience and to be persistent. It's just this we need. Patient with your process, patient with the meditation that you are doing, patient with all things, with your conditions, no, but persist, regularly persist. No, we say in Ananda Marga that we need to practice, or we need, no, we should try each day to practice at least 2 times meditation. This is enough, 2 times. When the day become start in the beginning of day, and while when the days start to finish around sunset, for example, no, it's the
Yeah.
best way, the best moment. But when you can, just to start your day and after to finish your day,
Mm.
some start with few minutes, no, few minutes, and of course the technique that we will use will make the difference, of course, no, because some techniques maybe will not help us. But meditation is a really amazing, incredible tool, the most important tool of yoga. The other tools we have in our school, also a lot of other tools, and the idea is to practice all these tools, because one will help other tool. No, the one tool will help other, but meditation is the most important, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I
Mhm.
love meditation. I think it's amazing.
Wow.
But I would love to hear what you found in terms of techniques with meditation
Mhm.
that you could offer for people that could help them to not make it easy, but it might aid being able to meditate.
Mhm. Yes. So what is important in meditation? We have some steps. We have some steps. When someone want to be initiated, of course, they will receive these steps in a very clearly way. Uh, they will learn a personal mantra. They will know a personal chakra, the energetic center, when they will concentrate their minds. But also, who want to start meditation before to get initiation, and also this is the ideal to start to practice with a more universal technique, a more general technique, let's say. And after, when you feel that you are ready and you are a little bit aware about what is meditation, you can go ahead and learn this and get this initiation. And also, the initiation is just the first lesson, because we will have more, at least 6, 7, yes, 5 or 6 lessons in the first level, because we have other levels that I still don't know what they are.
Mm.
But just to say that meditation is a very um, um, it's a technique that we will never find the last the last point, the last step. What I want to say, because we always have a little bit more to know. Maybe I can learn more through others, someone who is more no master of more than me, at least, and they can teach me more, some techniques, some levels. But also, while I'm practicing the same technique, I'm always receiving some informations, I'm receiving some insights from my own self. So I'm always discovering new aspects in my technique, the technique that I'm practicing now. But what I can say about these steps in a general way, no, because we are not here in an initiation, so I cannot say details about it. But for example, what is important in a first moment, of course, to sit in a comfortable way. If it's possible, to be seated. In a chair can be also, but of course in the ground is better, because we need to have a body in a very comfortable state, no, to have the body relaxed in that posture. So find a good posture and sit there. If you cannot be seated, okay, you can lie down and keep your spine stretched how much you can, okay. And after, we will try, the second step is to try to disconnect from the external world. That's why, if you can, you will cross your legs. We suggest also to cross your fingers, touch the big toes, the big fingers, and also to close the eyes, and also to bend the tongue and touch the paladar, because we are trying to disconnect from outside. So close, 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 how much you can. And also, when our tongue is touching the paladar, we are in some way activating our glands, no, pituitary gland, especially pineal gland. So this, it's also helping. Of course, we cannot close our ears. No, we can also use some tool, but without a tool, we will keep our minds aware about the sounds that is around us. So this is the most difficult to close. No, but we will go ahead in other steps that will help these sounds to not disturb us too much. So I disconnect from the external world how much I can. And after I can just observe my breath, just observe a little bit this process. I can also account, for example, account 4 seconds breathing, no 6 seconds breathing out, no, and slowly just to calm our mind, because it's really difficult to calm our mind. But if I can calm my breath, I will automatically to calm also my mind. So the breath is the main tool to help us to calm our mind. When I'm meditating or when I'm doing other thing, I'm having other experience and I need to be calm. So, okay, observe a little bit your breath, trying to take a deep and slow breathing and a very slowly breathe out. No, the breathe out should be slowly, much slower than the breathing, because in this moment we will start to go within us.
Mm.
So after that, I will in our in I will try to also eliminate my body. I will try to imagine that I'm a point. I'm just a point, and we can concentrate that we are a point. For example, here, no, in our forehead. This is our sixth chakra, Agna chakra, no, inside. But the body is not there. But I'm this point. This is a suggestion, because of everyone will have a specific chakra. But before initiation, you can practice with this one, for example, that is universal also. So concentrate here and imagine that you are this point. And this point is also breathing. No, this point is also practicing. So keep your mind in your breath, but now you are connected with this point. And for the 2 last steps, we have a mantra, and we have what is really, really important, the ideation of mantra. So, for example, you can utilize a universal mantra that we use in Ananda Marga, that is Baba Nam Kevalam. I will explain a little bit after what is this. So you can use this mantra, for example, breathing, Baba Nam, imagine just with your mind, repeating mentally Baba Nam, and while breathe out, Kevalam. And keep in your mind also the ideation of this mantra, because this will help you to create the reality that we want when we practice a spiritual meditation, because we are not talking here about only a meditation that can help you to calm your mind, to be relaxed. We are talking about a spiritual meditation. What this mean? A meditation that can transform you in what you really are. So it's not really a transformation, it's just to help you to be aware what you really are.
Yeah.
So why this mantra can help? So what is the meaning of Babanan Kevalan? Kevalan is only, Nam, name or vibration, and Baba, the most beloved, the being or the thing that is most beloved to you. So only exists that the vibration or only exists that one or that thing that is the most beloved. Or we can just resume, the love is all there is, everything is love. And this is the real truth. When we go deep in these yogic masters, they will say everything is an expression of this infinite love. This infinite love that we call consciousness or supreme consciousness, that is creating everything. And um, in his direction or her direction, no, to this supreme consciousness, we are returning, especially when we wake up to this our real nature. We are love, but we
Mm.
are a kind of love that we are not. We don't know exactly what is. I don't know exactly what is. I just can feel a little bit sometimes. But
Yeah.
who already knew, who already had the experience, can explain a little bit better that the love is everything, is everywhere, and there is no separation between nothing, among nothing. Everything is an expression of love. So behind the external material, behind the external separativity, everyone, all of us, we are love. So when we practice, for example, this simple meditation with these simple steps, and we can get the real feeling of Babanam Kevalam and feel that, no, I'm repeating this mantra with this ideation, everything is love, everything is love, everything is love. What is happening inside me? What is happening in my mind? I'm
Yeah.
becoming exactly that. So just to finish, no, this, to answer this question to you, um, the technique of meditation is based in a principle of yoga. The principle that say we are or we become what we are thinking. If I'm
Hmm.
thinking that I'm bad, if I'm thinking that I'm not, if that I'm not good enough, if I'm thinking that I'm sad, if I'm thinking, I'm creating this. I mean, I helping this idea to grow in me, in myself, in my life. But if I practice at least 2 times each day, few minutes, just to try to remember to ideate that everything is love, of course I will transform everything in love. And my
Yeah.
life will transform completely, completely. Just need to be patient and to be regularly in this practice. And
I
of
agree.
course, to go in other practice then can help this practice happens, with more
Mm.
sincerity, with more reality. And in the initiation we learn more some aspects, we learn more some details that of course will help more, will go deeper. But this is already a very good practice from where we can start, do you know? So
Yes.
I don't know.
When I experienced it, I actually struggled a bit with it because I don't listen to anything when I meditate. I sit alone, I do my breathing, maybe I'll focus on a chakra, sometimes a mantra, but there were so many layers. And I was like, whoa, my mind is trying to remember to do everything. And I messaged you afterwards and about it because I was fascinated by all of these different layers. I suppose eventually the point is that you are able to do all of these at the same time, and they're
Mhm,
kind of flowing much more easily. Am I right?
mhm, mhm. Yeah. Yeah, this technique with these layers looks like really difficult, yes, because we need to remember all this. And we are trying to remember and practice while our mind is going here and there and here and there. So we start the practice, the mind will go there. When we return, oh, where I was in all these steps, no? But according we practice, this will become easier and your mind will go automatically to these steps. Of
Okay.
course, as our mind is going now automatically to our common thoughts. No, when we teach our mind now, you have these other steps to go, these other practice to do. The mind will adjust. Will adjust.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Because sometimes I would be thinking, okay, and don't forget, don't forget the mantra, and don't forget to breathe, and don't forget to focus on this point, and don't forget to visualize yourself in space.
Yeah, but in some moment also, in some moment you will just forget everything and you just
Okay.
enjoy the flow. So
Oh,
this is,
okay.
yeah, these steps is just to get to put your mind in some way, in some idea to help you to get the concentration, but in some moment, and maybe for you it's easier to reach this point, just to flow with that feeling. So the most important in some moment is just to flow in feeling that everything is
Oh,
love, that
okay.
everything is infinite, and you are disappearing there. No, you are
Yes.
becoming this also
Yes.
infinite love.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So I'd love to know what you think is the purpose of meditation. Is it to connect with
Yeah.
love or just empty your mind?
Mhm. Yeah. So, okay, to empty the mind is a very good important aspect, and is a very good purpose also. And of course, uh, each one of us, we are living in some different point of our progress, of our development.
Mm.
So maybe for someone now the meditation should be just a technique that helps you to empty a little bit your mind, to be free from your worries, your thoughts, your negative thinking. But this is not the original purpose of meditation, at least that we learn about reading and studying about the history of yoga. So the original purpose is it was not that. But in most important, this is not the purpose of yoga, this tradition that brings the meditation to us, or it's not the purpose of tantra that brings this tradition to us. And so this is the really purpose, or at least the purpose, the biggest and the original purpose of meditation is to help us to really know who I am. Because we normally, when we talk about to the self knowledge, we are normally talking about to know about what is my ego. My ego is a little bit an irritated ego. My ego is a little bit. My ego is feeling fear regularly. Let's say my ego is self-confident. My ego is like too much to be with others, or doesn't like. So we know about our ego. We know about we have has psychic and behavior patterns. We know, and this is really also really important, how to know about our patterns. And we can utilize a lot of kinds of therapies to help us. Also astrology, we can, who believe in it, I believe in, for me it's makes sense. And also the ancestors of India also they was using also to read hands. You can discover about yourself. So we have a lot of techniques, no, and also therapies to try to observe my behaviors, to observe my thoughts regularly, how I am my
Yeah.
common life. But this is just about ego. We can learn more about ourselves with in this way, learning more about my ego. But I will reach a moment that maybe I will be more aware. I can control more my feelings, my thoughts. I can control more my behavior. But I cannot. I didn't find in this way. It's not sure that I will find a peace that we are, of course, wishing a lot. We want too much to find this internal peace, this
Mm.
internal happiness, internal bliss. So in meditation, we are talking about, in spiritual meditation, are talking about to discover what I really, am, what I'm really am. No, I'm not this ego. I'm something that is beyond this ego. I'm this expression of love. I'm this infinite bliss. I'm this infinite peace. So I have all this exactly inside me. I have this, but how to get this, how to realize it? So that's why we have these
Mm.
many techniques to find to teach us what we really are. And when I say before, no, that the ideate with the ideation of mantra is helping us to create this reality, is because exactly uh, to create what reality? The reality about what I really are, I really am. No?
Yeah.
So the meditation is, and also the other techniques of yoga is trying to help us to find this infinite bliss, infinite peace. And this is our main, this is our dharma. We call in yoga dharma, our nature. Our nature is to seek for infinite peace. We will not
Mhm.
be happy in, still I find this infinite peace. Of course, many of us will live and will die without find it, because maybe we need many lives. But
Mhm.
while I'm walking in, towards this direction, towards this infinite peace that I have inside, I will start to feel better and I will start to live better. And maybe in this life or in the next someone life, I can complete my dharma. I can find my dharma, and I can realize this peace that is always present, independent about what is happening from inside my life, outside my life. No, what is happening around me.
Yeah.
This is the real purpose. It's a great purpose. It's the
Mhm.
the biggest purpose that we can have. Not
Yeah.
to find these happiness, to find this bliss that we are sincerely looking for all time. We are not aware, maybe, but all time we are looking for. When I choose a food to eat, I want to feel happy with that experience.
Yeah.
When I try to, when I'm married with someone, I hope that one can have help me to find this experience. But this experience, this happiness is not in the food, is not in the others, is just inside us. So
Yeah.
the most important thing to do in our life is, of course, to practice what we can according our normal life. No one need to be a nun, of course. You can have your normal life, but just to dedicate a little moments, few moments to improve this
Yeah.
recognition about what you really are. We really are, no? Yeah.
So how do we, I suppose, bring this to more people? And what is your
Mhm.
hope for humanity?
Okay. Yeah, I think the humanity is uh, becoming more and more interested in this kind of things. I really believe that we are living a very good moment to uh, to be more and more aware about what is our real dharma, because the new generations are not more interested to have to have the best car, to
Mhm.
have a big house. No, I think no, the new generations, and also my generation, your generation, we are not more so interested in what the society sell to us in some decades before, and maybe many centuries before. That what we need is to to have a success in in material aspects of life.
Mm.
So I think everyone now realize, okay, it's nice to be a comfortable life in a material aspect, but this is not enough. This is not
Yeah.
enough. So when we realize that this is not enough, we can feel completely sad and without ideal about what to do now. If what I was looking for is not enough, what I need to looking for now. So someone's maybe will become depressed. And we also know the higher numbers of suicides in our society, because maybe a lot of people are reaching this point and they don't know for what side what to do.
Yeah.
But who is reaching this point and have the opportunity to realize that, oh, okay, this is not enough, but this is not the end.
Yeah.
This is just the moment when I can realize, okay, good that I can have a comfortable material life, but now it's the moment to start to conquer, to reach for other thing. And this is the
Yeah.
most important. The life will become an amazing adventure. The life become really an amazing adventure to try to know more about yourself, of course about the ego, of course too, but also to know to try to go more and more deeper and to connect with these feelings, subtle feelings of spirit that we can receive from a good vibration, music, spiritual musics also, and of course by meditation. So the life become really amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling so hope. I'm feeling that yes, we are living a very good moment, and I think we can help with our experience, our practice, and also with what we can share with others. Has your job, has my job, to
Yeah.
help people. Just let's start to walk in this direction. Let's start to move. Let's start to do a little bit that you can in this
Mm.
direction, because it's not just about material life, just not about material things. This is not enough. So let's just go a little bit more, no, in this practice. And we
Yeah.
have tools. We just can start to move in this direction. And I think that people are starting to move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I have great hope for the world. I'm very optimistic. I mean, what you were saying about going into depression and kind of which way you could end up going. I mean, I really relate to that. That's kind of how my journey, I say, began, because it began from that moment, the realization that nothing outside of myself was going to make me happy. And so I embarked on the journey to connect within. And that was how it all started for me. So I truly believe that sometimes what can seem like the worst thing can feel very dark, and all of that can actually bring you to the light.
Mhm. Yeah. And for me also start like this. I
Mm.
was, as I say before, I was a lawyer, a yoga teacher. I had a very nice house. I had a very good relation in my family around me. But in that moment when I felt, oh, something is missing, in the first moment, I felt so, I felt so sad. I felt so, I don't know how to say, but what to do now? No, it was really difficult because uh, I was looking around and no one was saying to me that there was more something. So I should be happy with that things. Everyone was in opposite, saying you are crazy and you have everything. You should be happy. What is happening with you? No, why are you complaining about your life? But so this is what I just think I feel sad sometimes because I know that not all of us have this opportunity that I had and you had to
Mm.
find
Yeah.
some other option, because what society normally offer to who are being in this moment. Normally, the society offer drugs, alcohol, sex, no,
Yeah.
and some of these things will create a big problem. Some others, maybe
Yeah.
not so much, but also you will feel the emptiness inside you after you get what you want at that moment. So this is the moment to share with everyone that there are more things to look for.
Mm.
No, and some ones will find some strategies, some paths, others, but it important is to make people know that there are other options, there are
Yeah.
other paths to go now. No, I think this is the most important. And one thing that is nice also when we study the yoga philosophy is to understand that the universe, the life, is movement. Also in Sanskrit, they call universe as Jagat, movement. Jagat is movement in Sanskrit. So everything is moving all time. We will never stay in a same point. All or I will go back in my self-development, or I will go ahead. If I go back, all this universe will help me, will pull me to go ahead. If I can
Mm.
decide by my own self to go ahead, it will be easier. So
Yeah.
if I can know, if I can know about tools, if I can know about especially to where I should go, uh, I can start to move. I can start to do what can help me, and I will not need too much the life pulling me. The life will
Yeah.
just look me. It's a figure that I'm creating. Oh, imagine the life looking you and say, "Oh, she's already going. Okay, let's relax with her. Let's take care of others. They are not
Mm.
aware." So also the life become easier in some way after, of course, some steps maybe, no, because we don't know what we need to learn. So the life is pulling us in some way. But when we start to move by our own capacity and awareness, the life no need more to pull us too much, at least for some time. After some of maybe we need. So I'm really also um hopeless because um I know that also when the life is pulling me, it's just because the life is trying to teach me, is trying to put me in a path, in a place where I can go, when I can be now, where I can
Yes.
be now, no, a place. Now you are ready to be here. Now you are ready to have this teaching. Now you are ready to go deep in some feelings that was no there hide it was hidden inside you. So I really believe in everything in our life that is happening, also these difficulties. And
Mm.
I imagine that also with you happening like this, when I look back and I remember this really hard moment, I feel, oh, thank you for
Yeah.
happiness exactly in that way, because I was
Yes.
completely blind for all this path. So for me it was important, and I know when I saw others saying I'm suffering, I know that is difficult in that moment, but I just say, please, take the most benefit and learning that you get from this moment. This can change completely your life. This is maybe the most important moment of your life. As
Yeah.
in my life was that experience that I had. No.
Yes. And it totally leads to growth.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
grow, you evolve through
Yeah.
those moments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, I love
This is
this.
really
Um, so obviously my business is called Exist Better. And I called it that because I believed there was a better way of us being. And I just love to hear how you exist better in your life.
Yeah. 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 I'm so great. I'm so glad that I could find this in my life. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was not imagine that this will happen to me. Never I will imagine. I was always, of course, trying to be a better to others, to have a better life, no, to live in a better way. But I was never imagine that I could find I could create this reality. Let's say, no, I could have this opportunity to live in this way. And I remember that I had some dogmatic thoughts about myself. For example, as I was a lawyer, I imagine I cannot be so creative, I cannot be so like a hippie. Do you know, I was
Mm.
always admiring others in their ways to be, but I create a lot of imaginations, a lot of walls around me. I'm like this, I just can be like this, I cannot be like others, I'm different, I have no this capacity.
Mm.
And when I start to this practice, I can just discover that I can be everything. And I start to be what I was looking and desired. I want to be like that one, but wow, I cannot. I'm not so, maybe, so free. I'm not so, I don't know, all these kind of limitations that we imagine about
Yeah.
ourselves. So it's so nice that we can just feel I can, and I don't know what in the next step of my life I will be. I don't know what I can also, what this life will ask me, what this life will suggest to me to develop and to be, So yeah, yeah. We need just, of course, to do an effort. No, we cannot say that it's just easy, it's just to walk. No, I
Yeah.
know, at least in my path, okay, we need to do an effort. In the
Yes.
first years for me, it was difficult. As I said before, I hate that nun that was just calling me to meditate. I hate her too much.
Yeah.
But I went and I practiced with
Mm.
hate in my heart in some moments, but I was doing. Okay, of course, it was not the best way, but it was my way in that moment. It was what I could. So, of course, it's not easy, but the easy life will not give us the great life. We need to do
Yeah.
some effort to everything in our life. If I want to exchange my car, if I want to have a new car, I need to do an effort to get money.
Mm.
So why I cannot do an effort to develop my inner patterns, to transform my inner capacities? So of course, when we start, we need to do an effort. But
Yes.
this is so little. It's just so small when we compare with other efforts that we are always doing. We are
Mm.
doing a lot of efforts just to have an opportunity to travel to somewhere.
Yeah.
No, I
No, I
work
totally
a lot to
agree.
just no. Yeah, we just
Yeah.
work a lot to have some money to travel to somewhere. So let's do a little bit effort also to develop ourselves.
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
it's
It's the neglected part.
yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to add that maybe we just need to believe that these exist. Because if I believe that a new car exists, so I can do an effort. I believe that I can to travel to, I don't know, Thailand, to Philippines, to Indonesia. I believe that I can go to some this place, for example, if I want. But maybe I'm not so sure if that these heaven inside exists, no, because we can say, this is what Jesus say, but he said this many thousand of years ago. I don't know if it's really exists. I don't know, this Buddha say, Shiva say, Krishna say, Mahomet, all of this, and also no, many others are saying, but I really don't know that if this is true. But for me, what helped me has my psychology is irrational. I'm really, really a rational woman. I went to the philosophy, and the philosophy convinced me. After
Yeah.
I start to also realizing myself the transformations, and so now I have two very good proofs. I cannot say that this will not believe. So we need to look for what can convince me about that, and
Mm.
to do the effort after to be convinced. No.
Yeah. No, I completely agree.
Mm.
This has been an amazing conversation. I love it. And I really know that this will resonate with people. And I hope it encourages them to start meditating. Thank you. Oh,
And
I love conversations like this. I could talk about this all day.
yes, I also.
Thank you so much. Take care, Didi.
Take care, you too. Thank you so much, my dear.
Thank you so much.
Namaskar.
Namaskar.